to what extent do you expect that future conflicts will be cyber conflicts?
Thank you so much, Andreas. Thanks for having me. So I think what's obvious is that the cyber component of conflict will certainly grow massively in significance, will continue to grow because it is easy, it offers low cost, high impact options. It can be used to accompany kinetic operations. It can take the fight to the population. It is, in a way, the future of war. And one book that all of you should read if you have not yet is the book by the former Supreme Allied Commander Europe and our advisory council member at the Munich Security Conference, Admiral Jim Stavridis, entitled 2034, The Next World War. And I would say about 95% of that book aren't about bombs and weapons and planes. It's about bits and bytes. I think he's onto something.
So I hear from you, tanks, rifles, and armed conflict, that's not going to go away, but cyber will complement kinetic warfare, physical warfare.
Correct. And I think, at the moment, it's still far too easy for illegal forces to take the fight to our population, to take it to our fridges, to our cars, to our smartphones, our watches, our radios, our TVs, our life. And I think if we don't get better at accepting the fight where the illiberals take it, if we don't get better at raising our defenses, and if we don't get better at massively and drastically increasing the cost of cyber war, we will remain at a disadvantage.
That sounds like an important task to keep whole countries safe, but then what's the role of private sector companies? They're not there to protect whole countries, or are they?
In a way they are. I mean, the state depends on the private sector for two things in a way. It depends on the private sector to run its economy and to ensure its prosperity. And for that, we need the population to trust in the private sector and its ability to provide prosperity. And the state also depends on the private sector to run its most basic infrastructure. Water, electricity, TV, everything is I think, critical to our way of life. And without the private sector and the public sector working hand in hand to protect critical infrastructure, to ensure trust and faith in the economy, and to provide a clear pathway for prosperity, again, our opponents will be at an advantage.
Many companies still underinvest in cybersecurity, often just until they get badly hit. So what do we need to raise awareness? Is it more regulation or different regulation maybe?
So I know I speak to private sector representatives, and I know you don't want to hear that. Yes, regulation is important. Yes, regulation provides structure and a framework, and yes, it needs to be enforced. However, what really moves behavior is the right incentive. We need to make sure that it pays for you to do the right thing, that it is increasingly costly to do the wrong thing, and that all of us know which direction to walk in and do so hand in hand, because it's not only the right thing to do, but it's also the most profitable thing to do, and obviously the most sustainable thing to do.